Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. It's John and Jenna from Flippin' Ain't Easy. And yeah, I want to know how you guys have been doing this week. How are your sales? Um, Today, I wanted to just kind of touch on some things with the seller update that I didn't really touch on the video I put out. After going back and watching it, I realized that I didn't really talk about dates too much. But I also wanted to get your take on this update. To me, it's not that big of a deal, except there's a couple key things that um, I'm pretty happy about. Now, of course, I've been happy about the idea, or always optimistic about the idea of getting paid for a best offer. I think that's just a long time coming, but I'm really more excited about the saving the 10 cents on a scheduled listing, because I'll make a bunch of drafts, right? And they'll be sitting in my draft bank, and maybe the goal is that I want to launch 5 tomorrow, 5 the next day, that type of thing. And if I forget, it's not the biggest thing, but I don't want to go back and think about it. I'd rather just launch them through a scheduling process. And it's always been a feature I thought that eBay should not have charged their sellers to use. So that is to me pretty cool. Now, this does not take effect until the 15th of February. So you have the 10-cent fees that are now going to be going away for scheduling your listing, whether it's an auction or a fixed price listing. And also, if you're doing auctions, the 25-cent fee that you'd get charged for just setting a buy it now price. So let's say I'm going to sell this starting at 99-cent bids, and if a serious buyer comes along and wants to grab it, I'm cool with accepting $15 for this item, that type of thing. And so in the past, every auction you do that for would cost you 25 cents. Now, when I was selling those military patches, man, we had a lot of auctions that 2-month period. And I even had that buy it now in there. I would have saved quite a bit of money. For every 4, it's $1. So, we were doing hundreds, of those auctions each month. So I'm pretty happy about that, even though I'm not going to be using auctions as much as I used to, unless I come across something that I really don't have an idea what the value is, and I just allow the market to just tell me what it's worth, that type of thing. But just want to get your thoughts and ideas on that. Just got the email today that coming soon, eBay International Shipping. So I've been selected to be the next, I guess, in the next wave of folks that are going to be moved over from GSP to eBay International. And apparently that's at a different location. It's not in Erlanger, Kentucky anymore. And, it's going to be a similar process, I guess. The buyer's still going to get charged by eBay for that service. And, it says save up to 13% of selling fees for international transactions and keep more of what you earn. I guess we'll see. I don't have a lot of my listings set up for GSP, mainly because of what's happened with my account. I could tell you that, every excuse that they give me whenever I call eBay when they take something down, and they took something down again on my account. Um, as you know, I've been buying a lot of liquidation stuff, and I picked up something at a pretty good deal, like 21 bucks. Sells for about 200. And I got the thing. It's in really like almost new condition. Just the box is open, but the internal packaging, everything was new. And it's one of those machines where you pour ice into, and you have 2 hoses that go to a pad that you put on your knee. So if you hurt your knee, you have knee issues, maybe you have knee surgery, that type of thing, it'll bring you some relief, and while you're going through the healing process. Well, I listed that. Now, remember, I told you guys I wasn't going to do a health and beauty, and I meant like, this isn't health and beauty, but like stuff in a bottle or whatever, that things, yeah, creams, liquid, pills. That's the health and beauty I really am not going to touch. Devices, I've always had success selling medical devices, and I kind of look at them as just, electronics, contraptions, that kind of thing. So I listed this item. Yeah, I listed this item, and within, you guessed it, minutes, guys, it was taken down. I'm actually on my next item, getting ready to list that next item. And I get on my phone, and I get the email that pops up as a notification. And I'm like, what the heck, eBay? So I stop what I'm doing. I go back and I'm like, they did it again. So they took off my listing under the guise of medical devices. I guess that's a policy. You can't sell medical devices that require a prescription. Well, okay, so they didn't suspend me. So this is, I guess, under a different policy. So I go and look up the policy, and it says like CPAP machines, things like that definitely are a prescription type device. But this you can buy on Amazon. I mean, and of course, we know that I wouldn't sell anything that there weren't comps for already sold and listed comps as well. So of course, what do? I call eBay, and I get sent to trust and safety, and they go in and tell me, well, it's not allowed because it's a prescription device. And I'm like, there's no way for me to know that. I'm looking at it. There's nothing saying that it's a prescription device. Well, they put me on hold, and then they come back, and guess what line they decided to give me? They decided to tell me, well, it's because you are shipping this to a country that doesn't allow this type of device. So this is just like a heating pad. This is the opposite of a heating pad. You use a heating pad maybe to warm up a certain area. This is the same thing, except it's ice. It's supposed to cool your knee. It's designed for your knee, but you could wrap this pad anywhere and provide the same kind of effect. And I said, tell me the country that you are, this item's prohibited. And she's like, well, okay, hold on, please. Puts me on hold. So, of course, you can't see the listing when they take it down. But I do know that lately I've been using, for the larger items, when I'm shipping UPS ground, and that's the policy that I used, I have no GSP. I have all the countries other than Canada and Mexico excluded from this particular item. And she comes back, and I say, can you tell me what shipping policy that I use for this item? And she looks at it, and she's like, oh. And I'm like, yeah, oh. I said, there is no country I'm shipping to where this is prohibited. And they came back and said, well, it's still not an item that we're allowing you to sell because it's a prohibited item. So, again, there is no other seller out there watching me, and there's no way that someone within minutes, because you guys know that it takes you about 5 to 10 minutes for your item to show live anyway, once you launch it. And it's just something I'm gonna have to keep dealing with. And I'm hopeful that I can go long enough between, the time I list a device or an item to the next time they actually try to catch me doing something within more than like 6 months. So all this can hopefully drop off, or maybe I'm always going to be on their radar. I don't know.
I think you're on a permanent list. Well, you're on the sticky note that's on their computer that gets flagged every time.
So it is what it is. So, it's what it is. So I know not to buy that item anymore, but come on. It's just getting to the point where I'm going to have to take all HB off. What are you doing that for?
No One Design 2 says, why does Jenna look like she is a hostage? Jenna, blink twice if you're a hostage. Not a hostage.
So, well, the cool thing is you guys don't feel that way. You're here with us on your own free will. So thank you. If you are watching us today in the chat and are with us live, please put your questions and comments in the chat. We'd love to hear from you. If you're watching this after the fact and just couldn't make the live, well, there's always next time. But comment down below, and no matter how you're watching it, just hit that like button. It's guaranteed to get you a sale within the next 24 hours, or the money you paid for that like, which is nothing, you get back. Great deal. So we have
the success rate is really strong.
You guys reported all the time that it works well. So hey, we've got Rosie Games, Ant White, Picky Ricky, Damian D, Prosters in the house. We have let's see, I know there's more of you. Ant White, Damon the Big Dog, that is. Damon the Big Dog. I see Biscuit Butts driving around somewhere out there in Vegas. and quite a few more. Bill York and friends. So thank you for dropping in and hanging with us. We have about 72 right now watching, and I'm sure we'll get above 100 and maybe more. Maybe we can find a way to somehow crack that 200 viewer mark at some point this year. That'll be pretty cool. So we have Rosie Games says, hi, John and Jenna. Things must be slower all around. Just received an email from eBay promoting discounted final value fees on the first 20 selected items. It's been a slow week on my end. How about you? Now, I don't think everyone gets that email. In fact, I'm not seeing anything at all on that. Yeah, not seeing anything, all of that. So it may be because you don't have a store, that type of thing, or maybe you don't have a lot of activity as compared to what they want you to have. They're trying to get you to add more items to the platform, and they're always looking for ways to bring in more, generate more revenue, and that doesn't surprise me at all. But slow week, not really for us. I mean, now again, it's so hard for me to even, because I tend to do a lot of different things at the same time. I introduce new things, new product, but I'm at about 2,300, 2,325 the last 7 days. And today I'm sitting on $400 sales on my main account. And I'm not even looking at my other account, which gets about, I'd say, $75 to $100 in sales per day, which is like gravy. So I can tell you I am fairly happy. That's about three something a day. If I did this the rest of the year, which I know that there's going to be a hiccup somewhere in the summer, I'm sure it always seems to happen, I'd be happy. Okay. But I mean, I'm not going to be satisfied, but I'd be happy because it's an increase over last year. But again, this wouldn't be the case if I didn't make the changes that I made. I would be sitting around the $150 mark per day. And I've gone up at least, I'd say 40% in my sales. So you just got to take the control of your own account. And I know that, you're having slow sales, but there's got to be an answer there. There's got to be an answer, and it may be just what you're selling. That's kind of what happened with me. You come to the realization that you can only peddle, and I'll use the word that a lot of people give me flack for because I won't say the word twice, but crap. Peddling crap is what I've been doing. And it's like there's times I got a lot of shoes and stuff, but that's kind of what was holding up just the crap. If I didn't even have the shoes, I mean, it would be really, really bad. So at some point, it's like you have to come to the realization you got to find a way to get better stuff in your store. And sometimes it's just about taking chances or risks that maybe you thought weren't, a possibility, a year or two ago, maybe something that you passed up before. Maybe consider going to that thrift store, consider going to the bin stores, which we do like once a week or so, and see if you can find extra additional product to sell. Aunt White says, hey, John, want to get a question, then some great news out of the way. I can't stay for the whole stream. Someone told me eBay will be sending out tax forms for 2022 sales over 600. Any news on that? No, in fact, they weren't supposed to. But again, it depends. A lot of it depends on the threshold of the state that you're living in. So if you're living in a state that 600 is the threshold, it doesn't matter what the federal government does. That information is being sent out. Now, it's my understanding that once a 1099 is actually sent out or given to you, that also goes to the federal government and the other entities as well, the IRS. So make sure if you do get one of those forms, I mean, you should be, like we'll talk about it again, you should be reporting it anyway, but to cover your butt, make sure that you're reporting at least anything that is reported to the government, because the last thing you want is a nasty gram 2 years later with a bill saying you owe us this amount. And I've seen it before personally from a snafu where we didn't get all the W-2s when we left Amtrak back in 2019. And, it was not pretty seeing a $3,000 bill in the mail. It's not a fun day. Now, Aunt White says the storage unit I won for $460 is full of Versace, Dolce & Gabbana, and other high-end Italian clothes. couple grand in pure silver coins and several other items with a value of two. Wow, that's nice.
That's awesome.
So it's now about, getting in front of that computer and getting that stuff up. Picky Ricky's eating lasagna, and if he's in UK,
microwave lasagna.
I know he's like eating late at night, I think too. Not judging you, but just trying to get an idea.
We eat late sometimes all the time.
Or Damien says Orlando, Florida, 70 degrees here, and we have Prosser in the house. Trying to get through the sidebar here. Hold on. Picky Ricky says night items for a total of 140 quid so far, which is like pounds, right? Yeah. Process is crap week. I had 3 days, no activity on eBay whatsoever. Not even offers to watchers, nothing, even though ended all sold sim and done listings every day. And then he phoned eBay this morning and got them to check my account, and boom, started selling, getting sales.
That's happened to us several times.
Well, I mean, it's no longer really a thing that they can reset your account.
Yeah, but before, it was a huge thing for us.
Well, to the point where they actually screwed my account so bad I got no views for 2 days. That's a problem. Mm-hmm. So generally, if you see the traffic has gone down, then you know something's up, because it's whenever you see an impression, that means your item is viewable to the buyer to click on. When you see page views, they've clicked on it. What you have to worry about is, well, if they're seeing the item, if they're clicking on the item, why aren't they buying my item? And a lot of it ties into factors that are within your control: your photos, your item description, what you say in your item description, I think also can scare people away. Your price, that's a huge part of it. So, check your traffic, of course, but that, Prosser. Let's see. Prosser just picked up a corner TV unit, wooden one, like 5 minutes ago, and sold it this second for 15 quid. But I'm sure you did that after you hit the like button. I'm sure that's what happened. Damien the Big Dog said, let's make flipping easy for 2023. Nothing feels easier than selling stuff. I mean, when you get that cha-ching, in fact, we shipped it out. Well, we're going to drop it off. We already got it processed, but I sold today a brand new cover for a what you all in the UK call a buggy, but it's a golf cart, and it's brand new in the package. This thing sells for like 300 something bucks on Amazon. I'm into it for, I think it was like 30 something dollars, and I sold it for $143.99. I sold a wireless dog fence, a containment system with collar, for $135 plus shipping. These are things that I didn't even have in my inventory last year. And the other day, I was fired up. I was getting all excited because I took a chance on something that I thought was just off the wall. It was one of those, that's not an arm for a pitching machine, but it's a feeder. It's a feeder extension for a pitching machine where you can load like 10 to 20 baseballs, and then the machine slowly feeds it into the machine and pitches the ball. And those things go for like $600 on Amazon. Well, I picked it up for 30 something bucks and sold it for $299. So I was plus shipping. The thing was pretty good size box, but they paid for the shipping as well. And I don't care what you say or what people say. There's nothing easier than, it's one item. It's a pain in the butt. It's kind of big. It's bulky, but there's nothing easier than making a big hit, right? And now I got to deal with one item. It's got to put one label on it. I have to deal with one tracking number. I got to deal with one customer, and that's it. I don't have to, if I had a lot of smaller items, maybe it would, to take 300 in sales. If I had $10 items all day long, like on my other store, it would take literally 30 different packages, 30 small packages. I promise you, will take more time to process and deal with than it would just take for one larger item like this. So I was starting to, up until I'd say recently, shy away from the larger items. But you know what? I'm really starting to think that there's something to selling the larger items, not shying away from it. Yeah, we don't like we're getting older. We don't want to lift stuff, but for me, it's I don't mind it. I just get in my car, drive it a mile down to UPS.
He goes and he, obviously he gets these large items and he's like super stoked about it. And then when it comes time to, go through it, test it, clean it, whatever, he's like, damn, I wish I wouldn't have got this. Well, and then it sells. And then he's like,
well, sometimes you're like, okay, I got this pet safe cat litter box. Okay. Oh, geez. And of course, the descriptions and everything, I think I bought it for like $20, right? But the thing sells for like 150 to 200
didn't
bucks.
It say it was new?
It's open box.
Open box.
So, but they'll say new or used. A lot of times they'll say used, and they'll say, looks like the package inside has been open. Okay. So that's fine. Everything looked good. And I bought it, brought it home, and had the new retail box, but I could hear the cat litter inside the damn box just shaking around. When I opened this thing, there was cat litter everywhere inside the mechanism of the unit. I actually had to take the screws out from the actual unit of the cat box and empty the cat litter that got inside there, because it would have jammed up into the mechanism that automatically moves the thing back and forth. It's like a self-cleaning deal. And I carefully, and they didn't use it. They poured the cat litter in apparently, and they decided, you know what, we'll just go with our old cat litter box and send it back. And they just poured it back in the bag that they left open. And after, it was transported a couple times, it got all inside the unit. So I carefully got all that cat litter and I put it into a bag, sealed the bag.
Carefully, because
it left a mess. Jenna helped me clean up out there, and it was just cat litter everywhere. And if you get cat litter on your hands, that really just dries your hands out like crazy. It was horrible.
Only you would have your hands in cat litter.
Yeah, it's like, oh well. So we got it all straightened out. It sold, thankfully.
But it was huge. I didn't realize a cat box could be so big.
Yeah, it's just a big cat box, and
I mean,
it's has the lid.
Back in the day, they didn't have electric ones.
Yeah. Well, let's see here. What do we got? IC says it's 14 degrees Fahrenheit, wind chill -7. That's awesome.
Oh no, it's not.
And I went out and played golf the other day, and it was 40 some degrees with wind, and I was cold as heck. I don't think there's no way I'm playing golf any colder than that.
There's an Arctic something or other going on in Texas. Anybody from Texas? I know a lot of people from Florida.
It's blowing that balloon around. You guys see that the wonderful balloon flying around?
Texas is frozen over. Like there's icicles from the trees, and they're broken, and it's crazy.
So stay warm out there. Don't want it to hear any stories or anyone having problems.
Minus 30 in Toronto.
Wow. Oh. See, that's the kind of weather where you can take boiling water and then go outside and just pour it. That's the kind of fun I'd have with that. Let's see. Aunt White says, I want to start a second eBay for just clothes. Any advices or a clear cut to start a new one? Well, if you have an established account and you pretty much sell everything, it sounds like you got a lot of stuff that, the coins and other things that you might want to add to your main account. Why not just start a new one? Go in and open a new account. And what you want to do is maybe buy like 10 recipes, 15 recipes from different sellers. So you get the instant feedback, right? Because you're buying something digital. It's a digital, non-tangible item. And you're going to get fast feedback that way. It costs you like, maybe if you're dealing with dollar recipes, you're going to spend 15 to 20 bucks when it's all said and done. And then your buyer won't think you're just a newbie. They'll see that you have at least 10 feedback and maybe feel a little bit more comfortable, and just get in there and just start. I'm not a big clothing seller. We do deal with clothing. I went to the bins last week and I dove into the clothing, and I didn't have any supervision. And I came home with some what I thought were some pretty cool t-shirts, right?
There were a couple that were okay, but there are some that are like no name brand.
I don't know crap about buying t-shirts. I'm just,
Surf
thinking.
City something or other, like
So
nobody wants that new, let alone used.
But they bought one today. You listed it, and within like a few hours they bought it. That's that one Key West shirt that I bought. So, again, I'm dabbling in stuff, and I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm learning as I go. And sounds like you got a lot of good stuff to begin with. Your Dolce and Gabbana and all that stuff. Go for it. Get it listed.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be easy. I don't know. I like having the clothing set apart from everything else.
Damon's going to see if he can list 30 items during the live stream tonight.
Let's do it.
It's funny. I was on the Bearded Picker channel yesterday evening, and that thing went for like 3 hours.
It always does.
I got to tell you though, I enjoy the conversation, but I ended up sourcing so I had it worked out. You wouldn't even have known, but I was sitting there, between conversation, sitting there buying stuff online, and it's become my nightly routine. So let's see. Bill York's in the house. How you doing, Bill? Even though Jen is right here, I'll repeat what she wrote. And Prosper says, it was funny how nothing, not even offers, not even watchers for 3 days. Then I phoned them, and no sooner I put down, like within an hour, sales come in like 3, one after another. I would actually wonder though, if you could go in and check your traffic for the last 3 days before you made that phone call and compare it to the traffic that you were experiencing when you're making sales, and just see, because sometimes I think it could be one or two things. It could be, I hear a lot about server issues, and that could be it. There are server issues and you're just affected by it. But it also could be that you just have a bad day. I mean, look.
Yeah, but that 3 days in a row with nothing.
Well, now no views is not see, the thing is, if you're getting traffic, I think that a lot of people kind of poo-poo traffic, but it's a sign, it's an indicator. I mean, there's a reason why eBay gives us that data. It's because there is a significance, there's a meaning to it. If you understand that traffic doesn't mean sales, which is the truth, traffic doesn't mean sales, but it gives you an idea if your items are visible or not. And, whether someone views your item or not, it could be a number of factors. Like, during this run, I $2,300 in the last 7 days. In the middle of all that, I have $100 day. I have a $165 day the next day. And this is coming off a $350 day on Sunday. So Monday and Tuesday were like back to, the other level where I was at before. And I was like kind of thinking, oh, hopefully things are fine here. I kind of, it motivated me to get out there and just start listing more. And then boom, Wednesday, out of the blue, a $675 day, Thursday, 214, today, 400. So I'm not going to let what happened on Monday and Tuesday, make me think that something's wrong where I call eBay. Now, if I had a long string, like I'd say 5 or 6 days, maybe a week, now it's time to start digging and figuring out what's going on. And it very well may be a server thing, but, and I'd like to know, that's a mystery. I'd like to know how this whole server thing, I'm sure there's many, many, many servers out there. How does each individual server affect us as sellers? Does one server going down affect one group of sellers versus another? I'd like to know more about that.
You'll never find that answer out.
No, I'm sure there's some people that have some pretty good technical expertise out there that might know a little bit more about how eBay is set up when it comes to that. Let's see. We got Kevin in the house from Lakeland, Florida. I swear that's a copy and paste, Kevin. The same one. Change it up a little bit. Say, I'm here in Lakeland, Florida.
Yo, what's up?
Lakeland,
Florida in the house.
We got Jovial Juggler. Hey, FAE family. Happy National Work Naked Day.
Oh, John would love
Time to get this party started.
No.
All right. We want to keep it over 100 viewers on this live stream. Let's see. No One Designs in the house. How you doing today? And Yeah, Josh, first time I'm actually here on time. Normally catch it 10 to 20 minutes late. Hope you're both having a great
we're
evening.
10 to
Thanks,
20
Josh.
minutes late into the comments.
You got, yeah, we always are though. Hey Ed, how you doing? Ed's in the house. Savage Pickers is in the house, and Art Betzold as well. Victor Wawiorka's in the house. So thank you guys for dropping by.
Good no.
Joy Goodno. To all a good no. It's a bad joke. Sorry.
Wow.
Hello all. Got here at the beginning. Thanks for hanging out with us today.
Yay.
Don't be a stranger. Like to see you around more often. Emporium Etc. is here. CT Collectibles warming up from ice storm in Texas.
Yep.
I
saw it all over YouTube, and yes, we have they started out MMA. That's why I moved over, so you guys.
So she put down a heating pad. It's not cold in here.
Oh my God.
They're both laying down on the heating pad, like in the same formation. It's so funny. So what are you doing? Okay, she's playing with her camera. Ice storm in Texas. I spent all day cleaning up broken branches. Nick Picker's in the house. I just had an auction brick set taken down as counterfeit by Lego, but I never used the word Lego at all. Been listed for a while, and as soon as I put it on sale, Vero. So you put auction brick set? Is that what name you put?
Action, not auction.
Well, okay. It says action. Okay.
Yeah, it says action.
It says action.
I don't know where you're getting auction. You
throwing
letters into words.
It's my it's my accent. You heard auction when I meant action. So yeah, that's horrible, and then of course calling them. How can Lego, if you're not making reference to Lego, Vero you? I mean, they're going to give you an email address. They'll tell you to email the company, but they don't care. Simply eBay is going to side with the company every time because they don't want to deal with they'd rather not lose the brand support than to lose a buyer. Picky Ricky says I rejected a medical Okay. I have autocorrect next to me here.
I'm also known as GPS.
Yes. Tom. I call her Tom. Yeah, she'll be in the car and she'll go like, honey, turn here. I'm like, I can get around just well. Thank you very much. So yeah, I thought that was something. Let's see. I rejected a medical device today. Cost $700 new, $300 used. No history of any sales, and I rejected it. $20 mini heart monitor for ambulance. Yeah, I don't know. I think that one's kind of questionable.
Yeah.
Again, this item, it was more like, okay, I would use it. Look, I have an injury from bowling. If I had something like that, I think that's kind of cool. I would use it on my elbow from bowling, right? But it is what it is. There is no way you could tell me that something that you can easily get on Amazon.
Listed, once again,
that's the story. But the thing is, Amazon, you can get it freely all day long, and there's no requirement for any kind of a doctor's letter or note or whatever it is, prescription. Aunt White says I had that same type of device removed too, listed on Mercari. It sold quick. Problem solved. I'm just afraid of selling higher, and that's not, I guess afraid is the wrong word. I don't want to waste my time trying to list an item that is a higher end item that I know will sell for $150 on eBay, when a lot of times that same $150 item on eBay won't get you more than $70-$75 on Mercari. I guess I could have done that, but what's really cool is the sourcing that I have allows me to return an item within 7 days. So I didn't lose on anything. I mean, where can you get that? No One Designs says once you get on eBay's shit list, you are pinged under a microscope. I swear.
That is not even a joke.
I mean, look, there's what, 1 million, 2 million, 5 million. I don't even know the number of sellers out there. So let's say you have 1,000 sellers that you flagged. How can you, and say I'm in a queue somewhere, how can you jump on my listing that fast?
They've got you like a code assigned to you.
I mean, you think
every time you like bink, make a sound on their computer, like a notification. Oh, he's listed again. Let's take a look.
I mean, it's like someone has a shock collar on. It's like, oh, he listed it again. Damn it. So I don't know. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Let's see. Got Simplify in the house. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Carolyn, Bling Factor is in the house too. Thanks for being here with us. Biff Boffo says, I don't see much point in scheduling listings unless you're trying to get an auction to end at a certain time on a certain day. My rule is just launch it. Now, I had this discussion with Archie, okay? Now, I said, look, this is a good feature because let's say you work full-time. You work a 9 to 5, and eBay is not your main deal. I'll just use that because I'm going to use it, and I do eBay full-time. Let's say that I only have Saturday to list. So I'm going to make all these listings. So what's better for your account? Someone who lists, let's say I'm able to do 70 listings over a weekend. Let's just say, just put a fair number out there. So I use my weekend. I'm going to work Monday through Friday, but I have all my eBay listings done, and I just launch it all 70 on Saturday or Sunday when I'm done. That's one option. The other option is you have the feature to schedule your item to say, I'm going to have all these 70 listings. I'll launch, maybe, I got enough for 10 a day. I'm going to launch 10 today. I'm going to have 10 scheduled to launch tomorrow and 10 for Monday, 10 for Tuesday. You have your whole week done. You don't have to look at it. Now, the theory is, and I understand where you're coming from, if you list all 70 now, that's 70 items that are going to be available. Let's say someone's shopping for that item you would have listed on Friday. They're shopping for it on Monday. They're not going to buy your item because you don't have it listed. I get it. But for me, it's about activity. I think when you're dealing with account health, when you're dealing with the algorithm and trying to have consistency with your sales, eBay wants consistent activity. And if you're that kind of person that is doing this part-time, you're dealing with a 9 to 5, right? Maybe you only want to deal with stuff with eBay on the weekends. Now, of course, you're going to deal with customers asking questions throughout the week. You're going to be shipping packages at least 2 or 3 times a week, more than likely. So you have to deal with that part of the business. I get it. But it's one less thing that a part-time seller has to deal with when they just don't have the time to be consistent like you and I. That's sort of my thought behind it. I think it actually is a good thing.
Or if you want to take a couple days off, and so you get your listings ready, just like what John does, and he launches them, 5 on, so let's say he's gone over the weekend for golf or whatever.
Yeah.
So he launches 10 on Saturday, 10 on Sunday, and 10 on Monday, and he's home by Monday afternoon to get ready for the next part of the week.
Yeah. And I have a draft bank that I'll have set up like when I go on my trip. I'll be gone for like 5 days in April. And before, now this is the thing, another thing, I'd have my draft bank set up with listings, and I would get to a place where I have no reception at all. This place is like, I guess it's the last place on earth that they'd ever think that someone's going to have a cell phone. And I cannot with T-Mobile get any signals at all there.
We've even switched carriers just because of this problem.
Well, we switched back.
I know, but what I'm saying is we switched carriers just because of this trip, because I can't get a hold of him. He can't get a hold of me. It's bad. And so basically I go the whole week and don't hear from him. And I just have to pray that he's fine. And, we switched carriers. That didn't work.
Yeah.
And so we, eventually we switched back, but still this place is like, I don't know how you live there.
So with that in mind, I have no way of interacting with my eBay account at all. I can't even talk to my wife, let alone talk to eBay. So for me, having an option of, okay, before I leave, I'm going to schedule all these listings to run each day while I'm gone. And here's the thing. She quit on me yesterday. She quit.
Oh, no, I didn't
She quit. She told me that I really, really, really don't want to list anymore. I don't want to list anymore. I'll do anything else in the business, but I won't list anymore. So that adds another thing to me. It's like now, okay, fine. I'll be listing for 2 accounts, but maybe I want to get these LPs, right? I got a stack of LPs and I want to just go through them one Saturday and get a bunch of drafts made. And then that way on the secondary account, I can just have my listing scheduled to launch. I can focus on the bigger ticket items throughout the rest of the week, and eBay is happy with me being consistent. So that's my formula. I mean, it's working for me, and I'm not going to take a chance of having a lull. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example, and it's just not just eBay. I got to tell you, I am not getting a lot of sales anymore on Mercari for some reason.
We haven't had a sale in like what, 2
I mean, I'm looking at
weeks?
it. It's just nothing. I
Yeah,
mean, and
I looked at
but
it today.
I haven't put really any. I haven't cross-posted any items. We've been doing a lot of cross-posting to Poshmark, so it's getting that game of getting stuff maybe every other day, maybe a few a day, cross-posted over to Mercari to get that back going. But to me, I'm sure once I start doing that, once I start getting more consistent with the items I'm putting over, I'm going to get some sales here and there. So just to give you an idea what inactivity can do to an account, and it's not just eBay. And she's been a hostage for many years. I hope you don't feel that way, but
I'm here on my own free will.
Let's see. Jovial Juggler had a Don Joy Iceman. Same thing happened to me several weeks ago. Yeah, and again, the policy that they put out there does give examples, but it doesn't say anything about like a heating pad or and like an icer or
ice pack.
Yeah. I mean, Bill says I never list health and beauty items. Much too risky. You are spending a lot of time on the phone with eBay. Well, you know, it's like my thought was, you know, if it has an expiration date on it, it's something I don't want to deal with. If it's a device, I've been doing it I bought health and beauty pallets.
What we
before.
Normally, I mean, if the liquidation was still fruitful, we would still be buying health and beauty items.
So I'm gravitating away from that kind of thing too. I really am. It's just not worth the time. Aunt White says eBay's flipping shit list. Yep, that's right.
That's right.
IC says it's possible you have your own code that kicks in.
That's what I'm saying. Like, no, there's not a desk of people, just sitting around waiting for, the sellers that are on the list. No, it's probably computer generated. They've got him in that system.
But I hope, Prosser, that you're not correct on this. I mean, I mention it every so often, but I hope you're incorrect in that, I'm really not on someone's radar because okay, forget about me. What does it say about eBay if they're actually doing that to anyone? I mean, my thought is, they learned their lesson with what happened with the Steiners. Maybe they said, you know what, we're not going to engage in that kind of behavior. To target anyone. Look, I pay my fees just like anyone else. Why should they target me because I have an opinion? It's no different than targeting someone who puts a message on a bulletin board, critiquing eBay. You know what, eBay, if you don't like it, then handle it. And it's just not me.
Give the tools. If you've got some kind of list that these items can't be on, they can't be listed, then give us the list. The
argument is it changes.
I know the list is long, but I'll take it.
But it changes so often. That's fine. But if you have a list you're working from where you can say definitively this is no good, and I don't have access to that information, then like I said before, you need to make your software say, oh, John, you can't list this, by the way, and make it the same software for everyone else, because it's just not right. Julia says, I listed US only, still canceled.
No one Design says eBay doesn't watch John and Jenna's video because they never hit the like button.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, they hit the down. Someone's been hitting down thumbs down buttons, but that's cool. It's engagement. I just understand. I get a thumbs down on almost every video.
Know what? A lot of people are hitting the thumbs up and they're getting sales. Just look at the comments.
Okay, but I get a lot of thumbs down, and that's where you're going to get your Vero. If you thumbs down this video, you're going to get a Vero in the next 24 hours. Hopefully Ed didn't do that. I got Veroed for the term everyday backpack. Didn't know it was a model from a brand, even though it's a common term, everyday backpack.
I would have never guessed.
Wow.
Huh.
That's maddening.
Yeah,
So,
that's
not
ridiculous.
only is it wasted, this is what gets me though. On a Vero or a takedown, they take it down. They don't
And
even
then
let
you
you go
can't
back.
see
So
it.
you have to start from scratch. So I've just got through taking pictures. Maybe you're doing everything in a batch. So maybe I just got through taking pictures and now I got to go find those photos again. Maybe, hopefully you haven't deleted the photos. Maybe I got to go find the information I put in the item description. Just got to do it all over again. And that's just a pain in the butt, to be honest with you. And of course, to find out that it's everyday backpack that's screwing you up, you had to call and find out from somebody what happened.
Yeah.
Truman Lost in Time Picker. Hey, John and Jenna. Hello, everyone. Thanks ahead of time for the info. All you guys are great. Hitting the like button. Thank you. Appreciate that. Art is tired of eBay layaway. Yes. I am too. Now,
So
they said the 15th, they gave a hard date, 15th February for some changes. Here's hoping that it's everything gets put into play.
Yeah, John told me to calm down this morning because I was ticked off because there was 2 unpaid items, and it really gets on my last nerve. And he's like, calm down.
Well,
it's gonna be ending soon.
we talk about wasting time, right? If I have to go in and look maybe on a daily basis or every other day to find an item, to go click and see how long it's been since they agreed to buy the item, and then figure out, okay, I got to click on the cancel sales. Oh, it's not 4 days yet. So I got to go back tomorrow at some point and finally cancel it, because eBay is not going to give you your final value fees back until you cancel it, by the way. They don't care if you get paid for it or not. That's being counted against you. And I'm going to go through and cancel it, but I shouldn't have to do that. And it's just maddening that, I'll say this until I'm blue in the face, and I probably am already, but buyers are catered to. And I understand why eBay puts an importance on buyers on this platform. I get it. But buyers are catered to on this platform, and to the demise of the seller. And that's the thing.
It just makes me not want to ever have offers on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all it does.
Some people go that route.
I don't like that. John does that. And when I list, there are no offers allowed. I put it at a reasonable amount, and it's you take it or you leave it.
But you quit, didn't you?
I didn't quit. I just do not like listing. I hate it. I'm not good at it. I take too long for every listing. Doesn't matter how you tell me to do it or to not do it, or to change up the way I list. I am not confident in what I'm doing enough to consistently do it every day. John is very, very good at listing, and I will do everything else in the business, but I do not want to list.
So I guess it goes to the question I keep asking you.
Oh God, here we go.
What happens if I keel over tomorrow?
Then I have no choice.
Right. You have no choice, but you're going to be slow in the fact that you're not. Okay. So now I have to take this after the party's over with, by the way. I'm going to have to take on this business, and it's going to start with me doing something that I haven't done maybe in a while, or I just don't like. And you're going to get stuck on that. A lot of sellers out there can resonate with the fact that they go out and they're happy to buy stuff. They love to source. They bring it home. They're cool with taking the photos. And now I got the photos, and I'm going to sit in front of my computer or on my app. And maybe I'll just turn the YouTube on, or I'll watch the TV, or I'll get on a phone call, or I'll do something else because I don't want to do the listing part of it. And therefore, it's going to be like,
the great time to go back to work. Is you're not going to keel over anytime soon. And
you don't know that.
That's the great thing. And then number 2, if you do keel over, I'm just going to hire someone.
Okay. I love to see that training video. Here's how you list. Anyway. Processes. I noticed with all their new eBay changes, they still didn't roll out the intermediate payment for offers to watchers.
What intermediate?
Immediate. See, I'm losing it, guys.
You're just making up words as you go.
Losing it.
Guys, watch out, because he inserts words.
That's right.
You didn't put one in.
Well, I do that with music.
Well, that's a totally another subject.
Okay, so Carol says, "Hi all, how much did I miss?" Not a whole lot, Carol, and
Well, you're getting to it an hour after, so
yeah, but I mean, it's pretty much that the 15th of February, you're going to be able to schedule your listings if you so desire, and it's not going to cost you anything like it used to be. Bill York says, "My sales were zero until I ended 30 items and sold similar. 3 days later, I had 4 sales in one day." Yes, I really think there's something to that. To the
we don't
point
know
where
what it is, but we know it's working.
look, it works. Now, I'm kind of freaked out a little bit because I'm seeing stories of people saying, "Hey, that worked well for 2 months," and then I kept doing that, and eBay throttled my account. So, and look, there's something when someone actually says that, just to say it. Hey, I could have said someone throttled my account Tuesday or Wednesday, but that doesn't mean anyone did anything. It just means that I didn't get sales those days. But I don't want to do it too much. But I even have upgraded my store now. I'm on the $59.99 level. What is that? The heck, I don't know what the hell they call it, but it's where I have 10,000 listings. And I mean, with 300 something items in my store, I figure I can do that every other day, which is not happening. I'm not going to do it that often, but the idea of me doing it, once or twice a week, it's something that I'm certainly considering doing. But again, I really think that's a very small percentage of my sale increase lately. It's just a lot to do with what I'm selling. Let's see. Got Jeff's in the house. Thanks for hanging out with us today. And what did I miss? No one designs says, "Carol, you missed Jenna being a hostage, but she blinked twice and it was okay." Tommy says, "Peddling crap will get your feet dirty." It'll do a lot. If you're relying on crap like I relied on, like for the longest time, year and a half, and just tried to smile and list my way through it. I think sometimes there's no listing your way out of crap. Okay. Um, trying to put a happy face on some of the stuff that I was getting and thinking everything was going to be fine. I was just lying to myself, I guess. But it's an eye opener when you finally graduate from crap. I'll just say crap, and not everything I was selling was crap, but a good portion of it was. When you graduate from that to stuff that's really has a really decent track record of making sales on eBay, and you buy that stuff, and you're just pretty much focusing your effort and time on that stuff, and you see the difference. It's really an eye opener once the sales start pouring in. Nick says, "My sales have been slow and been listing more than ever. I realized it's because I've been listing a lot of used clothing and shoes, and I've normally been an electronics and liquidation seller." And I got to tell you guys, I have always gravitated towards electronics. Okay. Now I'll still sell everything, but I mean, I've been buying new boots, some of these Muck boots, Muck brand boots, and brand new in the box for like 15 to 20 bucks a piece. They'll sell eventually. I just put them up a few days ago. But that's not what excites me. When I see something that's an electronic item, I'm like, oh, cool, I can deal with this. And I kind of got away from that, thinking, well, I can sell everything. And well, you can. But the problem is, if you're selling items that are in saturated markets like clothing and shoes and other things like that, you really have to have a large inventory to really make a headway. That's why you see, a lot of these clothing stores that have thousands of items, they succeed because it's a numbers game. Savage Pickers just had a return. I'm sorry to hear that.
Aww.
But let's look at the bright side. That means that when you get more returns, that means of course,
you're selling.
Right. You can't get a return if you haven't had a sale. So look at it like that. Carol says, "I'm totally honest concerning anything with taxes and government things." Yeah, you got to be, definitely accountable, because you don't want to have one of those letters in your mailbox 2 years down the road when you're not expecting it. AJI3 or AJ13 says, "Flippin' ain't easy when one member of the couple has both the beauty and the brains, but the other one runs the store."
Stop.
You guys are horrible.
The brains. He has the brains. He really does. He is the driving ship.
Like I said, when this guy keels over, there will be a party. No, yeah, won't. Why not? Celebration of life. All right, back to a more positive thing though. Let's see.
Good.
Well, it's like death and taxes, right?
I mean, I know that it can happen. However, you don't talk about that.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
who is? If we don't, who is? Trombley's Treasury says if a buyer returns something back and it's broke, do I refund him? It was in great condition when I sent it. Okay, so this depends on the conversation before you got it. Now, did they open the return saying that you sent them a broken item? Did they give you a photo of the item that's broken saying, hey, it could have been damaged in shipping? But if no conversation or mention of that was given to you, it's for me, they probably sent you a swap out for one. There's a good chance that the item that's sent back to you was broken, which is why they bought yours. And to get them their money back, that's the whole Amazon return scam that Amazon doesn't check. They just allow to happen. And then when this same Amazon buyer gravitates over to eBay to buy your item, they have those same intentions, not knowing that you're going to call them out on it. So I would use the refund tool and get 50% back if you can part out the item, maybe sell for parts or repair, try to get some of your money back that way. If you can tell, maybe you've used the black light marker on the bottom of it, and then you, like some people do, to see on returns if it's the item that they sent. If you can tell with all certainty that it was not the item you shipped, then head over to ic3.gov, fill out that report, contact eBay with that information, and they should make you whole when you complain that this is not the item that I shipped them. So there's a number of ways that you have, but a full refund should not be an option unless that was the initial complaint from the buyer. And even then, okay, show me the box. You have the picture of the box. If you packed it really well. I had someone send me a message the other day and said that they received 1 out of 10 items in the packet. The buyer received 1 out of 10 items that they shipped them, right? Yet they don't have the box anymore to show that, hey, maybe it was opened or damaged, that kind of thing. It was ripped open on the side. And, it seems fishy. Now, it sounds believable in the sense of the buyer is working with them. So you're going to know, your sixth sense will kick in when you're dealing with this buyer based on the responses they give you, based on their willingness to contact you back, they open a return and don't contact you, or they don't return your messages. To me, that seems shady versus someone who's willing to, hey, this is what I did. I went to the post office. I spoke to the postmaster, like in the case that I referenced. So you're just going to have to use your best judgment sometimes. Let's see. Alan is in the house. When do you start actively using your second account? Would you recommend multiple accounts for everyone? Really enjoy the vids. Thanks in advance. Well, thanks, Alan. So it came to the point where I realized that I was watering down my main store with just a bunch of crap, and I still have crap, but the other store is designated for that. Now, I wanted to build up my ASP for my main store. So I said the only way to do that is remove the stuff that's pretty much under $20 before shipping. So for the most part, that's what I've done. Moved items, and it was like 500 something out of 800 something. So it left me like 320 in my main store. And to move that over, and I will still treat that store the same way I treat my main store, except I'm just going to show it some simple activity, at least 5 listings a day, make drafts, launch them, that type of thing. And, make offers to watchers on a daily basis, at least 2 to 3 times a day. And, just run it like like a part-time seller would a store, focusing more of my time on what makes the money, and that's on the main store. So some people might say, look, I got shoes here and I've got clothes, and you might have a wide range of prices, but you might have an ability to say, I'm going to run 2 stores based on a niche, right? So I'm going to sell shoes here, I'm going to sell clothes here. There's nothing wrong with that. I just wanted to break up the type of item that I'm selling by price. Now, I'm going to be able to introduce new merchandise to the old store, not the old store, but the lower price store, the Hot Desert Deal store, which is our secondary store. Basically, when I go to the bins, I'm still going to pick up something that, might have a pretty decent sell-through rate, but it's not at the $20 level that I need for my main store.
Yeah, we have a lot of lower price, lower dollar things that came out of pallets previously that are still there that I would really love to
move on.
Just move on away from.
Yeah.
And so once those are gone, then
I'm running into a space issue. I'm actually starting to get more larger items than before, and it's taking up space. And to me, I'm getting more comfortable with buying the larger items. So as I'm not going to build a death pile up, I'm going to be on top of it. And I've been doing a pretty good job, I think, of doing that to where we don't have a stack upon stack of stuff, because I keep buying more stuff almost on a daily basis. So, we'll see how that works.
Don't read that. Just keep going.
Okay. Are they
Just
gone?
Keep going. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Truman says, I did one form for one of my stores for the first time. This might be a silly question. Is it normal for them to report the gross amount of sales without showing eBay fees and shipping? Yes. 100% normal. That's what they report. Of course, that's what they're going to report to the shareholders too. They're going to do what they report has to jive with what they report for every seller. So you're going to have to go in and deduct all these things when you do your taxes. So let's say you made 100,000 according to eBay in a year. You're going to have to go back, find all the sourcing that you've done for the year, and account for that, all the eBay fees, all the shipping that you paid, things like that. And wow, there's some really cool people in this chat, huh?
Just keep going.
All right. So Semper Fi says, I found some good stuff. However, I forgot I don't have a way to ship it. Now I need to find a box for them. Yeah. And that's the thing. What I like to do is if I'm making a listing, well, when I'm making a listing, I want to know the dimensions of how I'm going to ship it. So of course, eBay wants you to put the dimensions and the weight. And even if you're maybe saying, oh, look, I'm just going to charge them $10 and I'll figure it out later. I mean, you can, but if you don't really are on top of what you're doing, you're going to find that you're going to be spending more than $9.99 or whatever you're charging that buyer on occasion. So I'd rather find the item and make it as if I'm actually going to ship it. Like some of the larger items I deal with that don't come with a retail box, I'll find a box, and sometimes I'll just go ahead and pack it up and write on the box that it's ready to ship, so that when she sees it, she doesn't have to do anything, just put it aside.
I love those boxes.
So I wouldn't do that on a mass scale. Like if you have, do it for your entire store, because then you're using a lot of shipping supplies for, stuff that's not going to sell. Biff says 1099 is the largest gross number, includes price, taxes, shipping, and does not account for any fees. Correct. Picky Ricky says larger items sell well because most sellers don't want to deal with you, so have less competition. Do a deal with that type of item, so have less competition, I think. Picky Ricky says that's why I like selling bowling balls. Yeah, I bowl, and I don't want to get rid of my bowling equipment just yet. I mean, I talk about being retired, but I have a bunch of bowling balls in the closet, but I don't see a good return.
A bunch.
These bowling balls.
These
bowling balls cost a couple $100.
Closets, might I add.
Yeah, but these bowling balls are a good couple $100 a piece.
They're heavy.
15 pounds. But it's just one of those things where I haven't brought myself to want to sell those bowling balls, the ones I'm not even going to use anymore, because I just know I'm not going to get a very good return. Maybe I need to go back in and look at it again, but maybe I don't
think it's time to sell them yet.
Not the stuff in my bag, the stuff that's in the closet that I'm never going to get back.
Those can go, because they're just taking up storage space that we have limited of.
Carol says, make a lot of listings, put 1 or 2 diamonds with the rest of the items, so that they have to buy the whole thing to get the desirable items. So maybe a lot like that.
Yeah.
I could see you doing that. To the new sellers coming on here, if it ain't listed, it can't sell. That's right.
That's right.
So again, you get in this mindset of, oh, I want to buy. But if you don't have the desire to sell and list your item as much as you are to buy it, you're going to run into a problem with the death pile. I mean, I guess you can say that some of these shoes we have are becoming a death pile, because it's just, they're kind of just sitting there. We still haven't gotten to about half the shoes, and we just need to get to that. But I'm on to big and better things.
I need to hire a team to clean the shoes.
Yeah.
Because it's a process.
Yeah, it is. And that's with the drill method. It's just kind of a pain in the butt sometimes. Prosser says easy to obtain from house clearance or on a side of a road. A lot of sellers don't want to mess with eBay. Yep. Let's see. Tommy says work smarter, not harder. Should always be goal. ASP and sell through rate are king for. Yep. I agree with that. Picky Ricky says, but many sellers don't even want to ship a VCR player, is what I'm saying. They don't. It's just, because now I have to go get boxes for it. I have boxes that I've bought that I know are going to work for these larger like electronics when I come across them. So they're pretty universal that I can just pad them really well with bubble wrap to so that they're not shifting around. Yep, I was thinking that earlier. We're down to like almost a full roll.
I swear we just ordered it.
But I've been wrapping a lot of the bigger stuff with some of the bubble wrap.
That was my point.
Process says I'll ship anything, even pallets of stuff, since we got that new Euro ship thing from eBay. Okay.
Darren Adams here from sunny SoCal.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with us today, Darren. LSGS Rob's in the house. Thanks for hanging out with us.
He corrected himself. Solo person, not Jim.
Yeah. I wasn't going to say anything, but we got Jeff in the house. Tell us more about T-Rex shirt. The T-Rex shirt. What T-Rex shirt? I'll let you tell me later. What T-Rex shirt?
T-Rex shirt.
Now that's funny because a friend, he has short arms. We call him T-Rex.
Yeah.
And we buy anytime we were driving on a road trip and we stopped by, they had this big T-Rex on the side of the road, and we stopped to take pictures in front of it. Because
he wears a T-shirt that has T-Rex on it.
Because he deals in our poker game, and
he
doesn't
really short
and
arms.
he doesn't get the chips, and so they're like, "Can you push your chips forward?" And he's like, "Calm down, T-Rex," So
poor Jeff.
Yeah. But he's a good guy. LSGS Rob says clothing is great, but you really need to do your research and sell the brands that have the quickest sell-through rates if you're just starting out. Yes,
I agree 100%.
Or find the coolest looking shirts. They look
you
cool.
Did not. If I showed you what he considers the coolest looking shirt
that the Benz had,
you would not watch his videos anymore because you'd be like, I trusted this fool. Like, honestly.
Well,
she's
coming with me next time to the bins. She's gonna dig through those clothes, not me. Callie Deb says, hello, John, Jenna, and everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Piggy Ricky says, I just tear a box of the seam and cut out a triangle shape with my Stanley. Okay.
Yeah, we cut boxes.
Use box cutters. That's just what I do. Tommy says, we have all the data at our fingertips. No excuses for bad buys and slow sales. Yeah, and using Terapeak a little bit more, that's helpful as well.
They're getting sarcastic now. No one design says, but Tommy, looking at my smartphone is so hard.
Yeah. That's true. Blue light is bad for brain.
Mm-hmm.
It actually is. It's hard to go to sleep when you're late at night looking at your phone. Let's see. It's true. I got my cha-ching from hitting your like.
Woo-hoo!
There you go, Mike. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Let's see. Biff says it's impossible to know how eBay divides the listings among servers, but when you have tens of thousands of listings, you can see patterns. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Troy M. Suave. How about 80% of my sales seem to come from 6 to 7 select states? Is there any significance to this? No, maybe, like for instance, if you are selling shorts, you're probably not gonna get too many sales to like North Dakota. You might get more for Florida, that type of thing. I mean, it just really depends on what you're selling.
I notice that we ship to a lot of the same places a lot of the time, but yet I don't think it has anything.
Or, the item you're buying is maybe you're shipping it to states that are closer to you, and you like Tommy says, getting better shipping rates. Yeah. Callie Deb says, I finally got a message from eBay that said that the person sending an offer had a payment card on file that if I accept the offer, I'll be paid right away. It worked. That's good. That's really good. I want to hear more about that from other people, because that just confirms that they're really starting the transition.
They're actually doing it.
Yeah. And, again, they're saying their employees that I spoke to just a few days ago, U.S. employee, was saying that, yeah, it's something they got a memo on and that they're going to have here this quarter. So hopefully come April, we can say it's in effect for everyone. And it's this whole discussion of not getting paid with the best offer is a thing of the past.
Over.
Let's see. Process says no during the 3-day period, nothing, not a blip, impressions or page views. Yeah.
Wow.
So that is exactly what happened to me. And I had to call and they had to get someone in the technical team or the IT team to go in, and they did a hard reset on my account. And that was a couple years ago. I made a video about it. Mad Hatter's Boutique says, same here on slow sales past few days. Actually, one day with no sale. I did get 2 today. Hopefully it's just a server thing, but it's also the first of the month. Rent's due. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tommy says, I've seen Action Bricks taken down because of GSP, global shipping, but not Vero though, really. My boring reseller life, how Lego works. If there's a picture of minifig that looks a looking figure, they'll take it down even without the words. Okay. Well, maybe
James would know.
Right? Yeah, I mean, yeah. The thing is, though, if I come across an action bricks, I'm probably going to find out the hard way and list it, and just it'll be instantaneous. It'll be they'll come up with the
word Lego.
They'll come up with the minifig device prescription policy, and they'll take it down quickly. Troy says, not shipping rates, Tommy. I'm in Alaska. A lot of sales from Northeast Florida and Missouri. So it could be what you're selling.
Yeah. I would say it's more so what it is you're selling.
Simplify just made a small sale.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters. Hey, is a sale.
Small, big, they all add up.
Yeah. Picky Ricky says, I just don't want to sell it if it ain't Lego. And yeah, you're probably, I mean, Lego's hot. I mean, I can't even source Lego because it's over my 40/40 method. And once I hit that number, okay, I'm done. But I know that if you get the right set, it's a quick flip. Tommy says eBay is run by bots, not people. I'm sure, and yeah, that makes sense because it's just not possible. Okay, so my item's flagged by a random person, but wouldn't it be in a queue before they actually saw it?
Some person went and put your name or your store name in their little
database
queue, and every time you list and it goes live,
the same database, the same type of database that they update for health and beauty. I'm on that list for sellers. Yeah.
Yes.
Troy has last week I had a sale from Ethiopia and one from Kenya. Very interesting.
That is interesting.
Let's see. Tommy says, no matter what anyone thinks, there's not one of eBay's very low amount of employees sitting and watching one of the millions of sellers' account.
Right.
But that's what they. But see, here's the funny thing. I believe nothing what they say. Yet I seem to somehow in my mind believe that when they say, yeah, someone in the back office made a mistake, that kind of like sits with me. I know better, but I'd like to think it's just someone who's screwing up back there. But no, it's not. No amount of Bob can beat the quickness of a computer.
That's true.
I had a Cornelius one time when I had a Cornelius.
Huh.
Yeah. I was like, where are you guys like, are you guys like playing Scrabble one day when you first are hired to figure out what your name's going to be?
Random names off of the computer generated.
Yeah. Randall Lee says, does anyone have tracking info on one day and the ESA system lose it 3 days later? Was just found at fault for a missing product sent to LA, California. So if you have an item that, of course, you ship and it's accepted by the post office and lost en route and not delivered, then yeah, you're going to have to deal with refunding the customer, maybe filing a claim through USPS or UPS, whatever service you're using. Once you get that delivery scan, then it's on the buyer at that point. So unfortunately, it happens. Like for instance, I had 2 of these collectible, like the little collectible pieces that I sold. I sold 2 of them to the same buyer, and Jenna put them together, packed them real well in a box, and we shipped it out UPS. And normally I will get them to scan it in front of me, But if there's a line, I'm just dropping the stuff off. I get there right before 6 and I ain't waiting. Not had really any problems before. So I drop all these packages off. And of course, there's no acceptance scan. And this was from like the 12th of January. So, she contacts me. I said, just go and open an item not received case. And then she did. And I went and looked at it. And I said, look, it's possible this thing still might arrive. I told her if it does, hit me up. But I ended up refunding her like $40 or whatever it was that she paid. And, it is what it is. If they're contacting me to say they didn't get it and the tracking number doesn't back me up, then they're just the cost of doing business, and it is what it is. Francis says, so John, if you're gone for like 5 days in April, will Jenna take the live solo? Yeah, I think she'll be comfortable enough by then that yes.
I could do a short or something, but I'm not.
Let's see, an hour and 14 minutes in. If we can get this thing to over 200 likes, then that'll be a yes. So
what are you talking about? Signing me up for
you're signed up. What advice can you give about a product I can only buy as a local pickup with my arranged courier? Now you can only buy as a local pickup with your arranged courier. That's strange. Well, it sounds like you're buying it online where you have to have someone pick it up and deliver it to you, that type of thing. If it's like a freight, if it's a large pallet, then I would say you want to go to maybe do your own shopping on rates. Darn it, is it freight? I'm trying to figure out the name of it off the top of my head. It's been such a long time. Freight Quote. Freight Quote. Go to Freight Quote. And there's a very good chance that they can give you a deal. I happen to have a buddy in the trucking industry, so I can contact them and they can sometimes arrange it for me. But it's been such a long time since it's been a long time.
We haven't needed it. That's back when liquidation was good.
So no one designs. Well, hopefully the schedule will be free on the next eBay thingy. Well, it's supposed to be the 15th, so we'll see if that works. Nature Made in Utah. Have a Mickey Mouse plush from Disney. Would I get a Vero if I put Disney in the description or title? I don't think so. No,
I don't think so. I think Disney they have their name on everything.
Yeah, they're cracking down on like, okay, I made this cool little Mickey Mouse shirt or whatever, right? If you sell something that's not licensed, if something that's not originally licensed by Disney, they're going to take you down because you're trying to benefit off of their likeness.
Yeah.
But the first sale doctrine covers you in that you'll be fine if you're selling something that's like a vintage shirt or a sculpture or something that's already been sold initially by Disney. Biff says eBay does want consistent activity, but what does that mean? Listing every Saturday is consistent. Just my opinion. I think the algorithm is more discerning than people think. Now, the eBay has come out recently and said, look, you don't have to list every day, right? But they want consistency. And I don't have to ask anyone to know that because I'll just tell you, I'll just use Archie as an example. So eBay is kind of like a secondary income for him. He doesn't always get to list on a daily basis. And there's sometimes days go by when he doesn't list. And he will notice that if he skips a couple days of listing, that his sales tend to drop. So is it a day? Is it 2 days of inactivity? I don't know. I mean, I don't want to find out. I'd rather find out what works and what I'm doing. If I miss a day, then go in and do a bulk edit, maybe edit nothing. Just go and select all your items and do a bulk edit. Maybe that's the day I'll decide to do a end item and sell similar for the entire store. There's ways to show activity other than listing, but I think that if you don't develop a routine, it's easy to fall off and say, you know what, I didn't list yesterday, but you know what, I'm gonna take the day off and list tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes like, no big deal. It's easy to get kind of stagnant, and I guess for lack of a better term, to be complacent with your business. But if you find that you're doing it every day and it becomes part of your routine, then it's just something you have to do. And it's sort of like how I feel about shorts, doing the YouTubers. So not eBay, but YouTube's come out and said, hey, we want you to focus a lot on shorts in addition to the content you're putting out.
Not the shorts that you wear.
Yeah, that's later in the summer. But the shorts, the YouTube shorts, and I have the hardest time. It's so easy to do. It's like a 15-minute thing, right? But I'm going to try to follow what they're asking me to do, show consistency. I just think consistency is built into most search engines for SEO optimization. This is my hunch, but it's a hunch based on both positive results and seeing negative results as a lack of consistency. Let's see. If it's made by Disney, you won't get a Vero. Biff says it's not a Vero. Agatha Blanco says, why don't list all if you have drafts? You just missing sales of the item sitting in as a draft. I list 3 to 4 days a week. My store is growing. Yeah, it's just, look, some people don't have the daily activity and routine. And I like, I look at drafts as taking a sick day. Okay. So look, maybe one day I wake up and I'm so bad off that the idea of doing anything on my account, really of anything that other than, I mean, I could probably launch drafts, but maybe I'm so messed up. I don't even want to even look at my phone. Maybe I'm just not feeling it. And to know that that's already been done for me by a schedule. So here's the thing. I could say, look, I'm going to have my items. I'm going to have 5 items out of my draft listed every day. And then everything I do, I'm still going to list items as many as I can every day with the time that I have. And it's just going to be gravy. And to me, I want to be consistent. I'll always say that. I think it's a good thing depending on how you do. You're tearing it up. That's good.
I mean, I get where you're coming from, but there is a time and there's also circumstance for certain people that is not everybody's running their store the way we do or the way you do. So they may have kids and responsibilities, a full-time job. So there's people who can't list 20 items a day on a consistent basis. So that's really the reason behind
so Agatha, it's more about playing to the algorithm more than anything else. And look, there's going to be times that you're going to want to take a day off or 2 days off. Maybe you're going to go, maybe last minute, you're going to get maybe an invite. Hey, we're going to go on vacation. Would you like to come and to the cabin with us and hang out for the weekend, family, friends, whatever. And you're like, no, I got a list this weekend. Well, if you have drafts, you can say, I'm good. I'll just schedule them.
See, that's a lot of time is our problem is if we do get, let's say, our family's throwing a party and, we're got to go to California for it. We can't go because we have a business to run, and if we had maybe a little more time to plan ahead and have drafts ready, then we could go.
Part of success on eBay or any selling platform for that matter is building good habits, right? So if every day my goal is to get up after shipping's done and I'm getting my listings done, those are good habits to get into. And to just for me, it's about consistency. But the bottom line is, if you're selling, like we've said this all the time in this program, if you're selling an iPhone, you don't have to have any consistency you want. You can have, as long as the title makes sense, it's compelling to a buyer to at least say, hey, I'm selling an iPhone that works or whatever it is. And your photos look like you're not doing a 50-yard dash in front of the camera, in front of the phone that you're selling. If you have a good price, if you overprice the damn thing, you're not going to get a sale. If you have just the basics, you can sell as often as you want. You can list as often as you want, and you're going to get the sales. If you're selling an average item, that's when it starts to get dicey. If you're selling an item that has high competition, that's when it's going to start to get dicey, because buyers have they have different options when they go to buy items. Not your item's going to pop up unless it's a one of a kind. And if the algorithm doesn't like how you've been interacting with it, your items will not show up as high on the search. And it's just a proven thing based on your activity. Now, does that mean you have to list every day? It doesn't mean that. But for me, I'm not even going to test it. This is my job, and this is what I'm doing every day. If you take your job seriously, you're going to be putting in the activity every day, and it's just going to be a second thought. It's not going to be something that you're going to be putting off every day. So do what works for you. I'm not here to tell you, what you should be doing. And I'm offering you the idea that if you're doing well and you're omitting all these things that we talk about, that some people will push back on, maybe by doing all the things in addition to what you're doing now will only help you with more sales. That's all I'm saying. AEIU from eBay says, just learned that you can rewind and then play at 2x speed to get caught up if you show up late. Weird, but you lost the Mickey Mouse voice when it.
Oh my God.
So you lost the Mickey Mouse voice when it transitioned. Okay, so yeah, that's that kind of voice. Yeah, I don't want to listen to myself, let alone.
He doesn't like it. Like if I'll go watch a video of his, oh my God, he gets so mad. He's like, can you turn that off? I don't want to hear myself.
Or if you just want to just look, if you got all day and it's like, look, I don't have anything to listen to, I just want to drag it out, right? Put it on half speed, and instead of an hour and a half, it'll be a 3-hour live stream.
Nobody wants to hear your videos.
Yeah, that would be pretty sad. Mad Hatter's Boutique says, does Mercari or Poshmark have defect rates like eBay? If you cross list and someone buys item off of multiple sites before you can end listing, who is the best one to cancel the sale with? Okay. She says no. She says no.
What?
She says no. I say yes. Okay. The reason is because there's been times, I'd say it's been about a lot. I mean, quite a bit of times over a 6-month period where we just happen to do that. And this is why I came up with the idea that Mercari.
Wait, are you talking about the consequences, or are you talking about?
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Okay. So I've encountered a number of situations in the past. I've listed an item on eBay, cross-posted on Mercari.
Not Mercari. We're talking Posh.
They said Mercari or Poshmark. So I'm answering the question. Sorry. I'm going to get it afterwards. I'm going to be comfortable tonight on the couch, but let me finish. So I list an item on Mercari that's already on eBay. I cross-post it, and guess what happens? I'm out and about doing something. Don't see the notification on Mercari. It sells on Mercari. I don't get to it in time, and it sells on eBay, right? Or I've sold it on eBay already and just forgot to remove it from Mercari. So guess what happens? Okay. But I received a message like after the 12th time from Mercari, and this has happened a lot over a 6-month period when I first started doing this, that saying, hey, something to the effect of, we know you've had trouble getting your items delivered to the customer. You cancel a lot. Just know that there's going to be, it's like a warning they give you, but it's not after the first 1, 2, or 3 times. So I started, so I started doing this. If I'm listing it on eBay, if it's there for 30 days, that item's been up for 30 days, then I'm going to then cross-post it over to Mercari because it's not that hot item, right? Now, it's happened where I just wasn't able, maybe it was sold within a few minutes of each other, but it's not all that common. You just got to be on top of your account. But eBay always wins. The reason is because eBay is my main account. Mercari is more of my clearance aisle. So anything that I'm having trouble selling, then after 30 days goes over also to eyes that are on Mercari, so that I have more people looking at it and have a better chance of just getting rid of it. But I am not going to jeopardize my eBay account because of the way I have it set up for Mercari. So for me, I hate to say it, but it's about account protection, account health on eBay. And I'm going to side with the eBay transaction first, regardless. And that's just the way it is.
And I agree with you 110%. But what they're asking is there any defects or consequences on Posh or Mercari?
Yes.
The answer is no. You do not get penalized.
You do, but not the same way eBay
does. For canceling a sale. Okay. There has been many times, especially today, where John has sold shoes on eBay, and I have to go in and take them off of Posh because he didn't do it.
Okay.
I can go in if somebody bought those in the event that somebody bought the same exact pair on Posh. I would feel more comfortable canceling the Posh because there are no consequences. They're not going to suspend my account or give me a warning or yeah, I'm going to get a pop-up that says, "Oh, it would be so nice if you didn't do that to your buyers." I don't care on Posh so much as I do eBay.
So with that in mind, just understand that she's been assigned to Poshmark. Now I have Poshmark on my phone. I will monitor Poshmark when I get a sale. Let's say a sale that hits my account, I'll get notification on my phone for the main account, but not the secondary account. She's got the secondary account on her phone. I will go on to Poshmark on my phone and remove items. I do that all the time. Now there's times I won't know about it, and there's times that I'll check, and there's times that she should be doing it when I'm not. And so she's putting it all on me. So
I asked you this.
we
are having a debate right now. I asked you this morning after going through the Value Trends account. I asked you, did you take these shoes off of Poshmark? There were 2 pairs. Okay. And he said, yes. What happens when I double check his work? I go in and I look at Posh, and sure as shit, they're still there.
Well, I must have heard something else.
So
you might have been asking me something else.
A lot.
I don't know, guys.
But as far as consequences, no.
I'm on the couch. Thanks for the question, Mad Hatter's Boutique. You got me in trouble.
You're not in trouble.
AEIOU from eBay says, I'm in Austin and we have lots of broken tree branches on our street. Most have been pulled to the side, but lots of damage.
Of the ice. Yeah.
Wow. Ed says, Posh and Mercari doesn't have consequences. If you do it consistently, you will get a warning and eventually banned. Yes, that's consequences. They do keep track of whenever you cancel. But they're not like eBay where they're going to nail you like after a few.
Right. I protect eBay at all cost and the buyers on there, as far as, if something sells on another platform. I would rather make it right on Poshmark, on eBay. And, if it sold, let's say the pair of Vans sold on both eBay and Poshmark at the very same time, and it was the same size, same everything. I don't have another one. There's only one of the shoe. I'm going to send it to the eBay buyer. I'm not going to say I'm going to cancel the sale on Posh, because I value our eBay customers more. We are both the boss.
I tell you.
And we have our strengths and our weaknesses.
Good answer.
And thank you.
Good answer. And thank you for the super chat, by the way. That's awesome.
Thank you very much.
Because I can always go on strike and not cook anymore.
You know what? I can cook. I just don't like to.
Okay.
Speaking of, what's for dinner tonight?
I don't know. Don't ask me.
I thought we were going to the movies.
We'll see how it goes. We got another what? No, it's 4:30 already, but we're going to keep going a little bit. Try to catch up to you guys. But yeah, it just depends. Depends on how nice you are between now and then.
Please. He knows that if
Tommy,
I'm hungry, I get hangry.
I like one of John's videos every 15 minutes, 24 hours a day for sales. But trust me, I'm sure that the stuff you're selling is good. You don't need my help. That's for sure. I got Vero for the word Velcro.
Velcro's like number 1 on the list, don't you know?
So how about this? How about using the word Velcro, but misspell it? So you're trying to, look, this is for entertainment purposes only, but I want to know if someone's ever tried to use Velcro. And so
John likes to experiment
maybe
lot of times.
VALCROWE, maybe something like that. Will that trigger the algorithm? Like hook and loop. What the heck is a hook and loop? I know what we call Velcro, but for someone who doesn't understand like what hook and loop is,
I really
like
wouldn't have known what a hook and loop is.
Yeah. So what about the idea of badly misspelling Velcro so that they can kind of phonetically sound it out, but
like
it doesn't?
What people do to avoid being their posts taken down off of Instagram, they make the letters symbols.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wonder if anyone's tried that. Tommy says, turn off offers and price stuff accordingly. You won't have a single non-pay guarantee.
Thank you. That's my, that is how I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah. But it's just, I just opportunities, right? It's sort of like, I mean, again, it depends on what you're selling. If you're having a hard time making sales, you need to employ every way to sell that item you can, and don't leave money on the table.
If you're not selling crap,
then you don't need it.
Then you don't need it.
You don't need it.
That's my opinion.
That you're right.
And Tommy agrees.
But you don't need it. So this is coming from someone who doesn't need it. Tommy doesn't need it, right? So therefore he doesn't use it. But if he was selling something, maybe not as good, and he wasn't happy with his sales, he would start looking into ways to make those sales happen. That's all I'm saying. It's just another tool you can use if you desire, but it's a pain in the ass when you employ those techniques and dealing with customers in a way that Tommy doesn't have to deal with those customers. Can't say Kevlar unless you say DuPont is the manufacturer. Okay. Picky Ricky says you get a Vero for onesie, and the same reason if he's not made by that company. What if you say onesie? Juansie? Onesie.
Wow.
Well, you got to trick the system, right? Let's see. Darren says, I have automatic cancellation set up. They cancel it for me after 4 days. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, you can go and do it. I just have not messed with it.
Well, then you need to.
I just haven't messed with it
because you can't complain about something you can control.
Look, I got to look after items that you should be canceling on Poshmark now. It's another thing that you're adding to my plate.
Sir, you need to back up. You need
to
back
Tommy
up.
Doesn't take offers. There's no need. Quality items priced correctly will either sell, or a small promotion sale will push them. Yeah.
Yep.
So look, here's the thing. Not everyone has that. Not everyone's in that spot. Everyone's situation is different. So you might be just struggling with making sales, and you have to employ those kind of tactics to get over the hump. Whoops, we just did that. I think I saw another one here somewhere.
It's right there.
Uh-oh, we got another one here. Who's the better cook?
John.
Yeah. But, I don't cook as often as I should. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, we need more vegetables.
Uh-oh, here we go. Jennifer solo live in April.
Oh gosh, no. Do not commit me for something like that.
Yeah, but thank you.
I wouldn't even know what to talk about.
But thank you, Prosper.
Because I'd have nobody to argue with.
AIOU says, basically, I just do what Rake and Profit tells me to do on his courses. It's a slow build, but I enter year 3. I'm thinking going to finally break even. Oh, God. Jeez. Thrift Shop Hustler. It's a joke, I think. Okay. Success is always doing what others tell you, like a robot. Trying to get caught up, but I'm so slow. Been so slow in this video. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Stay Home to Shop says, I use a doorbuster listing to generate daily sales. Just a low price product that I can replenish and break even, no profit. Having one sale a day seems to result in 2 to 3 additional orders. Yeah, that's that loss leader thing that we were talking about last year. And, my thought was maybe getting sales by just giving stuff away via auction or any other means will bring in the activity.
That's what we were talking about when we were doing the auctions on the other account. Like it was triggering something.
Mm-hmm. Nick Picker says large items also do well because people don't know how to ship, and they're charging ridiculous shipping prices that no one is ever going to pay. Yeah. I just do calculated, and I just sold that cart cover, and that one I think they paid like $40 shipping on top, but they want it bad enough. They're already saving money because I'm not selling it at the Amazon price, so they're getting a deal. Let's see if I can catch up here. Bill York says, I have a 5-pound brick from my high school, Kevinly Academy in Cahos, New York, which was torn down in 2002. Hope to sell on eBay for $1 plus shipping. Is that like on an auction or something?
A 5-pound brick?
John shouldn't be trusted with money at the bins. Hey, I do good at the bins. I do really good at the bins with spending.
That's questionable.
Okay. But I do good at the bins. Take my word for it.
He does do well at the bins as long as he stays away from the clothing.
Lisa's peculiar treasures. I have 3 items never arrived to a buyer using the new international shipping program. eBay handled it, but still sucks that so many items are not being delivered.
Yeah, that's not good.
Well, I just got my notification from them, so I'll be getting no more GSP. Let's see. Jeff says, thought you said earlier that you sold a T-Rex t-shirt recently. You must have heard it wrong. No, it was what was that? That beach shirt. What was it that we sold? It was just one. I don't think we didn't sell a T-Rex shirt. No. I'd give that to my buddy Jeff. Just ship it to him if I came across.
No, we sold a Florida Keys.
Yeah, Florida Keys diving team or something. AEIOU from eBay says, I know I said a long time ago in comments to a vid when pallets dried up, but if I were in Vegas, I'd sell every casino giveaway. There was a chips from every casino and anything that said Vegas. So
Sea Dweller, I can't even speak. Sea Dwellers Dive Center T-shirt, Key Largo, Florida.
Now I have here a bunch of chips that I've collected from different casinos. Some of these places still exist. Some of them do not. Have them from all around the world. And I don't know, at some point I may sell them, but
our son collects. He goes, when he comes out, he goes to he has already done it, but he goes to every casino that he's in. He keeps a chip.
Yeah.
And he has a collection.
Here's Mike. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Hi, everyone. Better late than ever. Out all day. Just got home. Crazy cold here in New York. About 20 degrees. Bundle up, buddy.
I sure hope you wore gloves and a hat and a beanie and earmuffs and a scarf.
Let's see. Dusty Crates says 5,000 cards typically stay around 1%. Have only been selling 10 to 12 a day for the past 4 days. Every update gets me though. Yeah. It's tough to say. Hopefully they didn't make any changes to this update in the background that they're not talking about.
The baby.
Let's see. Simplifies due to eBay being not on my primary source of decoded to be paid one time per month, so it's easy to track data. Yeah, you know what? When you're going back and you're doing your taxes and you're looking at all your daily payouts and just looking back at it, it's just a lot to deal with. Sometimes, it might be a better idea to just do it weekly, and I just haven't gotten around to change it. Ed says, remember, guys, John has merch that you can get. Support him and Jenna at the channel. Thanks, guys. Well, you can go down to the comment below, the description below. And
thanks, Ed.
It's just something we thought was kind of cool. We don't really push it a lot because
I personally want to find a better way to get to have merch made. It's certainly something that I would love to be able to do. I have a lot of the tools already to do it. Yeah. It's just a matter of making the time.
Yep. Nick says there's a tons of other sellers of action bricks and they have compatible with Lego and the title. One thing I could see looks like they are in China. Yeah. Those Chinese sellers are always going to get away with stuff. And because they're just the volume of them are so many that are selling a lot of different categories that, eBay can one day just flip a switch and get rid of those sellers, and it would lose a lot of money for them. Gail Carson says, hello, made it.
Gail made it.
Let's see. If someone had a reseller Texas, Hold'em in Michigan, I would love to go to that. Chip and a chair is all I need. Yep. I get all these chips from playing poker. I definitely need to get out. I have a friend coming to Vegas.
Played poker in a long
I have a friend coming to Vegas on Wednesday, so we're probably going to get together and play some cards down at South Point. But yeah, another thing that I just realized, if you're in Texas, something that I'm sure you know, but if you don't know, eBay is covering you if for your shipping. And of course, I don't have the darn message in front of me, but if your delay is due to weather from Texas, I believe. I don't have it in front of me. It just caught my attention. Maybe it's the message on the other account, but they're saying something to the effect of if your shipping is late, you should be covered. And maybe you should check your account. Maybe it's on the other one.
About because of the cold?
Because of the weather, yeah. And just scrambling now to try to find that information. I don't have it, unfortunately. Something to check into. Okay, no, that's not it. I didn't really dive too much into it. Nonetheless, you should check with eBay if you're out and having that problem and you can't ship the item. I believe there is something that they're doing.
I mean, that I would have figured that would go to any other state that's having problems as well.
Yeah. Scrap Alex says, what's 40/40 that you don't want to go over? So in general, merchandise, any merchandise. So if I'm looking at something that normally sells retail for, let's say, $200, right? Now that's just a guide. It doesn't mean you're going to get $200 for it. In fact, a lot of times with liquidation or any other means, I'm looking at just trying to make 40% of that. So that's $80. Okay. So if it's selling for 200 retail, I can get it. If I can actually sell it for $80, then I don't want to be into that item for more than 40% of $80, which is $32. So now anything more than that, after eBay fees and everything, I'm offering shipping on the side. So I'm not building shipping into my price. So for me, I can't be into that for more than $32 if I'm planning on selling that item for 80. And if the item's really good, a hot item, maybe I'll go up 50-50. So that same $200 item, I'm projecting to get $100 out of it. And I don't want to be into that for more than $50 on my buy cost. Okay. So I generally don't ever get to 40%, let alone 50. A lot of times I'm getting it at like, maybe 10 to 15%, 20%. But it just really depends. That's kind of what that is. That's my formula. And it's used for liquidation lots, but it could be used really for anything, to be honest with you. Nick Sheldon says, I've been having a few lost shipments through media mail. Amazing how they get found when you start complaining, license to steal. Yeah, unfortunately. Gail says, nice to see that eBay is getting a pay raise on the 15th. Yeah, it's like every time an update comes out, you can pretty much expect to see eBay finding a way to up what they're taking from us. But in this particular case, I mean, it is an increase, and not in all categories, but it is 0.35%. So if you're selling an item that's $100, in addition to the eBay fees they were taking before, they're going to take an extra 3.5 cents from you. So it's not worth getting that upset about. But at the end of the day, I mean, when does it end?
It's constant. It's constant.
And Nick says, the fact we have no protection is a damn joke. eBay should have to jump through the USPS hoops for it. I mean, what do we pay for? Yeah. And look, I would take a totally different stance on the raising of fees if, look, we had to wait 10 months and we don't have it yet. So we're still waiting for what they promised us last year. They put a smiley face. I guess all these increases go into their celebration events and things like that, things that I'm not invited to anymore, by the way. Truman says certain items are regional. I had a conversation with a lady who bought and sold fabric from Walmart. She should drive to multiple states to pick up different fabric patterns and sell to other states. Okay. Yeah. Tommy says the reality is the not listing part. The reality is your store gets cherry picked from top to bottom most times, and not adding more cherries causes you to be left with junk. Right. Yeah. So if I put up like 10 widgets that are really, really good items, and 8 of those widgets sell, and my other widgets that are just crap aren't selling, expect your sales to probably trend downward until you replace those other good items. Eddie Estrada says a package ordered was marked delivered, but it wasn't in the mailbox, which has a key. Postman says he will send me a vendor's note. Does this guarantee that I'll get a refund replacement? That's tough. I mean, it may be that you're going to have to file a claim through the carrier. In this case, I guess USPS. Good luck with that, I guess. And then contact eBay and see if they can make you whole. I just don't know the process as a buyer.
Well, it also depends on the company you're ordering from.
But I know that but I know you're covered as a seller, though.
Oh, yeah.
And I tend to, on this channel, focus more on sellers than the buyer experience, because I mean, look, I don't mind answering buyers' questions, but I think that eBay doesn't do enough for the seller as it is. So just having that support for sellers, and I focus on policies that affect sellers, and unfortunately don't really take the time to. Maybe I should to see what the other side's doing, but I don't really look at the other factors that don't affect me at all. Let's see if I can get some more here. If it flips a ship says, I asked the chat GPT how to make an optimized listing and it told me how. So I said, will you make an optimized listing? And it did. Yeah,
Yep.
it'll do it. Carol says, put your eBay store on vacation mode when you go to a California family thing and reopen when you get back. It's like a real brick mortar, problem solved. But you know what? eBay is the only business that I know of, reselling in general, like Amazon and eBay, that type of thing, where you can actually go on vacation and make money. So to me, it's about setting your handling time to a lot for that. And you get back and just ship the items, make the money while you're gone. It's passive income.
It's a turn off. I mean, just from a buyer perspective, to go and you find the item that you've been waiting for, you found it, you got it right there, and then they're on vacation.
So Tommy likes to list his right away. I will stretch it over a period of time. It's my day off if I need it kind of policy where I can just run it from my phone, or actually pretty soon just schedule it. It just, everyone has a different way of doing it.
Yeah,
and
I think that's what makes everyone so unique is we all do things our own, what works for us. Yeah, there are a lot of times where we need to implement new strategies within our business to create more sales and more traffic. However, it's still your own business and you're going to run it with what works for you.
Biscuit says, so my argument with not creating drafts and just listing it right away so that you can get the sale is the days that you don't list, pick 10 items out a year and sell similar. Yeah, I mean, whatever works, but I guess for me, it's just having that consistency built in your process, and that's what it is. So I'm going to continue doing that. I'm just offering ideas, but if you're killing it and you're selling that iPhone every third day and you're happy with it, then continue doing what you do. That's all that matters. In my opinion, having a draft to Lawton another day is
launch.
Oh, to launch another day.
To text sucks.
Oh, to Lawton another day is. It must be another accent that we're not familiar with. Having to draft to Lawton another day is nothing more than a virtual death pile. Well, launch. And this is coming from someone with an actual death pile, by the way. I get on his butt all the time.
He not only has one pile.
Ask him how much.
Ask him
how much sanitizer he still has. Nick says,
we love you, Archie. We really do, but we also love giving you a lot of.
Nick says they really need to penalize buyers who submit offers that are accepted and vanish. Yeah. They ghost you.
I'm sorry, guys.
Tommy says Mercari and Facebook is 10% cancel rate, I believe, is possible suspension. Well, I got my act together when they gave me that warning, though. Tommy says posh, no consequences. Mercari and Facebook, yes, 100% consequences. Mad Hatter's Boutique. My bad for the question. Hope the couch is a comfy one, but I thank you both for your detailed answer. eBay is always number one and good to know. Well, I'm glad we can work this out. Yes. Let's see. Shane Dillon says, I got a return for a Garmin back yesterday, and the buyer sent me back a cheap track phone.
Wow.
Called eBay yesterday, and I opened a case, submitted pics. eBay responded last night and refunded the buyer. Yeah, that's
Absolute
right there.
BS.
That's right there in ic3.gov. Go fill it out and call eBay with the information. And done it twice. Had to do it twice, and in both times they've made me whole and released my money back to me. And
that ticks me off.
But they also gave the buyer their money back.
Exactly. That's what ticks me off is they get away with it.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Ed says John also has an Instagram. If you don't know, he doesn't advertise as much. Yeah, Flippin ain't easy 2020 underscores. I put some of my shorts on there and stuff. But thanks, Ed. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Ed.
Let's see. I missed you skipping forward on the comments. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up. I'm way behind today. The Monster Loon's in the house. I submitted a counter offer earlier. Hopefully liking this video will make the buyer accept. Yes. It's like use the force of the thumbs up. June Hodge says, I thought the commenters were just messing around when they say get sales after liking your video, but I just liked it and 60 seconds later got a sale. There's something about it, guys.
We like that.
Yep, there's something about it. Mr. Sadie's in the house. He noticed that Tommy is in the house as well. Let's see.
You
Laura
must
Gillette
have said Key West
5 degrees.
T-Rex.
Oh, okay.
That's possible.
That's possible. Biff says weekly payout is so easy to track. Yeah, it is. It is. I just have to change it. I haven't messed with it. AIOU says tons of people keep $1 chip from each and they forget to grab them consistently. I'd throw $1 chip up from every casino, $5 each plus shipping all day long. Yeah, maybe.
He's talking about, yeah.
Well, I could probably list these.
He mentioned something else.
This one right here, I'll just show you. This one right here is one from Pachanga.
Nobody can see that.
Okay, so I'll have Vanna White show it to you. So it's a $5 upside down. It's a $5 chip from, is that a $5? Okay. I think that's not the right one. I have one from Pachanga. It's a casino in California where it's a drop chip. They don't give this to anyone. I had to pretty much ask the dealer like 3 times, hey, let me buy that from
Vanna White.
Yeah, I did. And they basically sold it to me, but they told me they weren't supposed to do it. So I'm sure that one would be, it says non-negotiable 5%, no cash, $5, no cash value. So I'm sure I could probably get something decent for that. But lots of chip collectors out there. No one, the ones no longer open in illegal underground casinos will do well. Yeah, I've got a couple. I have a couple from like New Zealand. I have some from Foxwoods, and one from Costa Rica.
Not because he ever went there.
Well, no one needs to know that. Let's see. I get paid by eBay daily, and the last month they've been started paying into my account Saturdays and Sundays. Used to get Friday to Sunday, not Monday. Friday through Sunday on the Mondays, yeah. Tommy says 40/40 is also bad for age and waist. I ain't at 40 yet. I've exceeded, well, I'm 49 with an under 40 waist, so that's good, right? Let's see. Trying to catch up here. Carol says, is anyone using the new express payouts that eBay is offering to get paid in 30 minutes when you sign up with a debit card? Just saw that on my seller hub. Nope, I'm not doing it. I don't need it that quickly and badly.
Jenna White. Instead of Anna White.
Gail says, I found out today that if your state requires you to claim sales anything over 600 on your eBay, you have to contact eBay to get your 1099. It seems they have forgotten about them. Well, someone said they still got one. So yeah, if your state requires you to, you should get it, because you're going to have to, and you can report that income without having a 1099 from eBay. But I would rather mesh with what eBay, make sure your numbers match what eBay is reporting. Mavjag Maverick says, I've misspelled many words purposely to make the sale. Velcro, use Velcro. Yeah. I've had World War II German belt buckle, and for Nazi, use Nazi. Had an ivory handle the knife and used Ivory case knife. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's machines and bots that are looking at it, then that's the way you can trick the system. So maybe I can go back and sell that mouthwash after all.
We are not going to try it. I'll tell you that right now.
Ed says the first year he got a 1099. I always reported my income, of course, was surprised when I got that form in the mail. Yep. But you should also be able to download it too, from your account. And Tommy says, Jenna White. Tommy says, I got an INAD from a mad buyer because I wouldn't stack coupons. He said shoes were not as described. He never opened bag, just laugh, move on. They already sold again. Yeah. You know, buyers are what they, unless you're selling.
Buyers are rude.
No, if you're selling in collectibles, those are good, mostly good people. You have some bad apples in every bunch, but I think if you're, and I say generically collectibles, I know I'm gonna get scolded by someone for saying that, but you know what I'm talking about. Things like vintage, whatever, or something that someone would collect generally are good people and a little bit better than that. But when you're dealing with everything, everyday items like clothing, shoes, and just randomness, you're going to get that kind of a buyer, unfortunately. Monster Loon says, I got some of those souvenir Las Vegas chips last time I was there, but mostly played slots, not tables, so I didn't get many real chips.
Yeah.
I do it on the poker table. I'll buy in for $200-300, take $1 chip, put it in my pocket. I'll go south for $1. Let's see. Tommy says, I'm over 40, sitting at 36 waist. I'm nervous as the 40 waist is closer than 30. Hey, I don't allow myself to get above 38. I get really mad at myself when I
38.
Size 38. Sometimes I'll wear that. I've been wearing size.
Never been a 38.
I've wore size 36 since high school. Well, no, I can't say that. Since not high school, but for a long time, because I was wearing like size 32, 33 in high school. I wore size 32, 33 in high school. I remember that. Let's see. I'm over 30 with over 40 waist. Uh-oh.
No, you're not.
Huh? Ed?
I've seen him on video. He's not with a 40
obviously
waist.
He would know more than you.
Well, obviously, however, I guess looks are deceiving.
Mr. Sadie's 56-38.
Hey.
Yeah. So that's not bad. That's not bad at all. I mean, I'm hoping to be 56-38. I'll be happy with that. Danny says, you can go to jail selling ivory. Don't do it.
Yeah.
I will not. And then the Monster Loon says, I sell collectibles like used toys. I fortunately have not had many real problem buyers, to the point where, look, I can set a no payment policy on collectible items, and I'm generally not going to have to worry about non-payers. And that was kind of a cool experience to deal with.
It says as the camera makes him look skinnier.
Wow.
Well, whatever works, I'll take it.
Danny says, old and registered. If not documented, then age doesn't matter. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. I just generally, I know you can't sell ivory. I know that you're not supposed to deal with, use the word onesie, Velcro, things like that. You can trick the system, but I can promise you one thing. I probably can't. They probably have all those variations on me. And the bots know if I list something wrong, but the spelling of a word wrong in a listing, they're going to flag it for something. Mm-hmm. And then Tommy buys relaxed jeans to feel skinny. Those hammer pants, right? Mm-hmm. And then Mr. says, you ever play cards online? Yeah, we have WSOP.com. I've played in the World Series of Poker. I've played, it's kind of cool when you're sitting down in a tournament and then Phil Hellmuth comes over and sits down like right across the table right next to you. I've been in some tournaments, but I don't play nearly as often as I used to. That's for sure. Let's see. If it ships is like I've been saying, don't eat plants. Will fix any weight problem today. I identify as a doctor. And then change your store name, John. Why? I was going to change it back to Homies Depot, but Jenny got mad. Jenna got mad. Sorry, Jenny. Jenny could have gotten mad too, but not Jenna. Ed, Jenna has never heard of the pear shape.
Stop it, Tommy.
Las Vegas Finder. I got a Vero for Huggy Wuggy plush, my first Vero. Wow.
Those are bad.
I mean, who expects sellers to go through and read all the possible Veros? That's the thing. You shouldn't get Veroed. You should get to a point where you're about to hit submit on your listing and it says, nope, Huggy Wuggy, can't sell it. And then you can be like, okay, fine. Now you can decide if you want to trick the system or just, try to repurpose it, resell it, donate it, whatever, or selling on another site. But you're not hit with any violations. It saves the company the hassle from contacting eBay. I mean, if eBay really wanted to, they can clean up their site if they really, really wanted to. But yeah, we're at 2 hours. Wow, this is the longest one we've ever done. But it's because you guys put up pretty good questions. So I want to,
we gotta go.
Yeah. So I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you guys for the time and the super chats, the time that you've spent today with us. And, look, whether you're going to use a schedule feature or not, whether or not you're going to use auctions and get the free buy it now, or whether you use best offers that you're going to be able to take advantage of instant payments. These are all things that are coming. Most of those are going to be happening by the 15th of February. But whether or not you decide to use these features, it's a decision you have to make. But yet another example of how sometimes flipping ain't easy And I want you guys to have an excellent rest of your day. Have
a
an
great
excellent weekend. And we will talk to you. Hopefully be here on Monday. We will talk to you then. Have a good one, everyone.
Bye.